The pre-colonial Philippines was once home to a number of powerful island states and thalassocracies. These seafaring nations were known for their trade, their military prowess, and their rich cultures. Here are a few of the most notable examples. The Cabaloan state, also known as Pangasinan, was an ancient Philippine kingdom before the Spanish colonization. It was a sovereign state that traded with other kingdoms like the Kingdom of Ryukyu in Japan and was even a tribute-paying nation to the Ming Dynasty of China. Pangasinan occupied the area that is now the province of Pangasinan in the Philippines, and its local name was Luyag na Cabaloan or Cabaloan. Its capital was Binalautungan, situated in the fertile Agno River Valley. During its peak, around the same time as the rise of the Srivijaya and Majapahit empires in Indonesia, Cabaloan thrived as a powerful and influential state. Legend has it that a woman warrior named Erdua ruled Pangasinan during the 14th century. The kingdom's influence extended to neighboring areas, including what are now Zambales, La Union, Tarlac, Benguet, Nueva Ecija, and Nueva Vizcaya provinces. Pangasinan enjoyed full independence until the Spanish conquest, when the Spanish arrived in the Philippines and brought an end to the pre-colonial kingdom's sovereignty. The nation of Ma'i was an ancient Buddhist island state located in Mindoro, one of the Philippine islands. It reached its peak around 1225 and served as a bustling trade center, attracting traders and ships from the Kingdom of Ryukyu, present-day Okinawa, to whole archipelago of Japan. Chao Jukwa, a Chinese customs inspector from Fujian province, documented Ma'i's trade activities in his work called Zufan Shior Description of the Barbarous People. This writing described the vibrant trade that occurred with this pre-colonial Philippine state. The people of Ma'i were known for their honesty and trustworthiness in trade, which contributed to their reputation as reliable and fair partners in commerce. The Kitatuan of Dapitan was an ancient kingdom that existed in western Bohol, Philippines, around the 12th century. It was established by people from northern Mindanao who settled in the area. They built their kingdom on the water using hardwood. The Kitatuan of Dapitan became famous for its trade with nearby places and even Chinese merchants, which made it very wealthy. Some people even called it the Venice of the Visayas because of its prosperity, just like the famous city of Venice in Italy. Unfortunately, like many other ancient kingdoms in the Philippines, the Kitatuan of Dapitan eventually came under Spanish rule during the colonial period. In the 11th century, a group of exile leaders from the collapsing empire of Srivijaya, led by Datu Puti, fled their homeland due to conflict with Ra Makatunao of Borneo. They made a mass migration to the central islands of the Philippines to escape the turmoil. When they reached the island of Panay, they bought the land from a local chieftain named Marikudo and established a confederation of polities called the Kitatuan of Mataas, with its center in a clan. Under the leadership of Datu Padoinag, the Kitatuan of Mataas reached its peak of power. It expanded its influence over most of the Visayas Islands. The people of the Confederation were known for their piratical attacks against Chinese imperial ships. Despite facing challenges, the Quechuan Medha has flourished as a significant political entity in the region during its time. In the 11th century, a group of exile leaders from the collapsing Empire of Srivijaya, led by Datu Puti, fled their homeland due to conflict with Ra Makatunao of Borneo. They made a mass migration to the central islands of the Philippines to escape the turmoil. When they reached the island of Panay, they bought the land from a local chieftain named Marikudo and established a confederation of polities called the Quechuan of Medha, with its center in a clan. Under the leadership of Datu Padoy Nag, the Quechuan of Medha has reached its peak of power. It expanded its influence over most of the Visayas Islands. The people of the Confederation were known for their piratical attacks against Chinese imperial ships. Despite facing challenges, the Quechuan of Medha has flourished as a significant political entity in the region during its time. The Rahanate of Cebu was a significant pre-Spanish Philippine state that existed on the island of Cebu. It was founded by Sri Lumai, a prince from the Hindu Chola dynasty of Sumatra, Indonesia. Originally, Sri Lumai was sent by the Maharaja to establish a base in Cebu for expeditionary forces to conquer local kingdoms. However, instead of carrying out this mission, he rebelled and established his own independent Rahanate in Cebu. The Rahanate of Cebu engaged in wars against the Magalis, who were slave traders from Maguindanao, and formed an alliance with the Rahanate of Butuan. Additionally, it played a role in Dionyzing Kutai in South Borneo, spreading Indian cultural influence to the region. However, the Rahanate of Cebu faced challenges, particularly from the insurrection activities of Datu Lapu-Lapu, which weakened its power. The Rahanate of Butuan was an Indianized maritime state in the Philippines that flourished around the year 1011. It was ruled by Rahasri Badashah and was renowned for its gold works, which contributed to its prosperity and significance in the region. In 1011, Rahasri Badashah sent a trade envoy, Ambassador Laikenshi, to the Chinese imperial court, requesting equal diplomatic status with other states. The Chinese imperial court approved the request, which resulted in the establishment of direct commercial links between the Rahanate of Butuan and the Chinese Empire. This diplomatic achievement diminished the monopoly on Chinese trade that was previously held by their rivals, particularly the kingdoms of Tondo and the Kampa civilization. The existence of the Rahanate of Butuan is supported by historical evidence, including the Butuan silver paleograph, which provides insights into its history and trade connections with China. The Sultanate of Sulu was founded in 1380 by Ma'mul Makdum, an Arab trader from Johor, and Shaila Hashim Said Abu Bakr. They arrived in Sulu from Malacca and established the Sultanate. To solidify their position, they converted the previous ruler, Rahab Bagunda, to Islam and married his daughter. Under the rule of the Sultanate, Sulu became prosperous and wealthy, mainly because of the trade in fine sea pearls. Divers in the region were skilled at retrieving these precious pearls from the sea, and their trade brought great wealth to the Sultanate of Sulu. The Sultanate played a significant role in the maritime trade networks of the time, engaging in commerce with neighboring regions, and even as far as China. It was also known for its influence in the southern parts of the Philippines, with its capital in the island of Sulu. The Sultanate of Maganda now became famous around the late 15th century. It was established by Sheriff Mohammed Kabung Suran, who introduced Islam to the island of Mindanao. He married Princess Para Misuli and established the Sultanate in the region. The Sultanate's power expanded, and it ruled over most of Mindanao until the Spanish colonization in the next century. The Sultanate of Maganda now was known for its trade and friendly relationships with other countries like China, the Netherlands, and Britain. This brought wealth and cultural exchanges to the region. The Sultanate played a crucial role in shaping the history of Mindanao and the Philippines, showing the influence of Islam and the global connections of the time. The Sultanate of Lanao was established in Mindanao in the 16th century, influenced by Sheriff Kabungsuran, who became the first Sultan of Maguindanao in 1520. Islam was introduced in the region by Muslim missionaries and traders from the Middle East. Unlike the centralized sultanates of Sulu and Maguindanao, the Sultanate of Lanao was unique in its decentralization. It was divided into 4 principalities called the Pat Alpangampangal Lanao, each with its own specific territory. Within these principalities, there were 16 royal houses ruling over specific areas in mainland Mindanao. This decentralized system of power was maintained by the founders and has continued to the present day. It emphasizes the value of unity, patronage, and fraternity among the ruling class. The Sultanate of Lanao recognized the shared power and prestige among the different royal houses. By the 16th century, Islam had spread to other parts of the Visayas and Mindanao, shaping the cultural and religious landscape of the Philippines. The Sultanate of Lanao played a significant role in the history of Mindanao, contributing to its unique political and cultural identity. I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, thank you.